What is going on, my friends? My name's Corrupt, and today we are here breaking down for you the Zap Queen Charge Miners. So, if you guys are interested in seeing more of these type of videos, then remember to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you guys don't miss any of my educational Clash of Clans content. So let's go over this first example using the Zap Queen Charge Miners. Now, what makes this strategy different than a Zap Miner attack? Well, what you are doing with this attack is you are zapping away any value around the clan castle. This doesn't have to be the Eagle Artillery, but it could be things like, for instance, maybe Expos, maybe a Multi-Inferno if it's in range, stuff like that. Just look for defenses around there. So like you see right here, we have a bunch of Expos, or a couple Expos here, along with the clan castle. So we can easily just use our lightning spells on top of these and to quake over all of that in order to take them down. And we do also want to try and weaken up some of those defenses as well in order for us to kind of have less less HP to worry about in terms of getting through that defense. So we don't really need to worry about it so much so with the miners because they'll take a couple less shots to take it down. Now, another thing is we're bringing in the Queen Charge. So why are we bringing in the Queen Charge here? Well, the main reason that we're bringing this in is because we want to get some extra value, but we're also using this to create pathing. Now, this is something that you guys should definitely try to understand. If you're seeing a lot of single target Infernos, it may be a good idea to bring in a free spell if you can fit it in somewhere. I don't know if that's going to be entirely possible, however, but it's definitely not a bad option to bring. Now, you'll see from here is that we are going to be first using our lightning spells right on top of the Expos and the clan castle. Notice how we're not using it by the artillery or even weakening it up, but we are going to weaken it up very slightly using the max earthquake. Now, what we're doing here is creating the funnel for our queen. So we're using a baby dragon over here. That's going to kind of carve out this side. It's going to prevent the queen from going over in that direction. So what we can do now is create the funnel on the other side with the king. And what we've got now is an easy way for our queen to get in. We have two super wall breakers, and we're using them to get into the multi and eagle artillery compartment. So that's exactly what we're trying to do with this. Now, of course, you do need a rage spell when you're doing a queen charge. So that means that you're bringing one less heal and bringing a rage spell. So like you see here, we're going to be using that second super wall breaker in order to break into the eagle artillery compartment. That way, what we're able to do is take care of it. Now, on the opposite side, we're using the siege barrack. Now, this is where I'm going to kind of pause it to give you guys an idea of what you're going to be looking at here. So this is going to be the pathing. This is what we want to funnel out with the siege barrack. So that means that this is going to be kind of our pathing when we enter in with the miners. So this is exactly kind of what we're looking at here. So we have a couple groups going in here, and the rest of them are going to kind of do a swerve. So that's exactly kind of what you need to sort of think about. It's the pathing that you're able to get when you guys are using this. So as our queen charge is still going through, we have that rage spell specifically when she needs it, which was to deal with the king. We can then go ahead and start sending in our miners, our warden, and stuff like that. And what you'll see from here is that as we're entering through, we want to make sure that we're able to take down each of these defensive buildings. We also want to heal up, like you see right here, over the bomb tower and stuff like that. You may also notice the use of a little bit of an earlier warden than using it over with the multi and the wizard towers. Instead, we're going to use a heal spell there. It's a lot better, and we're able to keep our miners and hog riders from the clan castle alive as we move through. Now, you may be asking, can I use hybrid like this as well? And yeah, you can use hybrid like this. However, I will say this, miners work a lot better when the base design forces the hybrid to split. So that means that you can interchange miners or hybrid, but it's definitely a lot better when you use miners in terms of a base design where you fear that the hogs and miners might split on you, and that's exactly something that you don't really want to happen. So this gives you guys a really good idea of how you guys can use the queen charge miners, and I did give you guys an example of base identification, but let's go ahead and move on into another example using this attack strategy. Now we have another example, guys, using the Queen Charge Zap Miners. This one, we're going to be trying to get the Eagle Artillery and the Clan Castle. The base identification here is, if you notice, if the Clan Castle and the Eagle Artillery are basically very close together like you see here, it might be a better option to use 7 lightning spells. Now, this is definitely going to be very base dependent, and definitely it's going to use up a lot of your spells. So you got to really think about the best way that you can use this, especially since you only have 1 heal spell. You have 1 rage, 1 heal. Now, of course, you can probably do a charge with no rage, but it's going to be a little bit harder, especially if you go up against the enemy queen or the enemy king. So definitely something to keep in mind. But what you'll see here is we're going to start off with the lightning spells and the quake spell. We're allowing ourselves to kind of get rid of these 2 structures in order to kind of make something work for us, like you see here. Dropping in the lightning spells, dropping in the quake, and then using that last lightning to take care of the Eagle Artillery. So what we're doing now is we're creating the funnel here for our queen by using the king on one side. We're also using just a couple funneling troops on the opposite side to create this part of the funnel. But what we're also trying to do is get our queen right in with those healers in order to pick off the multi-inferno. Now, this is definitely something where it's a lot more base specific. If you can get both if you can get at least one of the multi-infernos down and the Eagle Artillery, there really isn't too much of a reason to why to bring 2 heal spells. But in this case here, we had to use 1 heal, and we had to charge in for multi-inferno. So you'll see right here is that as our queen is charging in, this is what we're taking care of. We're taking care of this entire compartment here, and we're going to be able to send in our miners this way when we send in the siege barrack. So that's exactly what we should be trying to do when we are using this. So we've already created the pathing enough for it. So we're going to use the siege barrack down around 6 o'clock in order to kind of carve out this area here. And what this does is it keeps these miners from staying on the outside, and instead kind of keeps their pathing a little bit like this. That way it allows them to drive right into the multi-inferno compartment. Now you'll see that we do have to use that early warden ability. Our warden is being targeted by the Expo, so it's not the best attack, it's not the most clean Zap Queen Charge Miners, but it still gives you guys an idea of what to expect when you guys are using this. It's almost a fail here, but definitely you should expect that when you have only 1 heal spell when you are using this. But other than that, though, you guys still get a really good idea of what you should be doing. And you'll see from here is that we really don't need to worry so much about these miners after there's no splash damage except for maybe a bomb tower. And definitely, that is a huge hindrance. It's definitely going to hurt a lot of our miners. But as long as we're able to clear a large portion of the inside of the base where the queen can't reach, as long as the queen can reach over the walls and take down the rest of the buildings, it's pretty easy for us. So that's exactly what you should be thinking about. Now, is this something that is worth using? Maybe. Sometimes. It's very base dependent. But I would suggest not even going for the Eagle Artillery with the Zap spells. It's less reliable, and it's gonna make you use up a lot more spells when you need more spells for the miners. So that's exactly what you need to think about when you guys are using this. So 1 rage is still fine, but you still want to make sure that you're able to get the miners and allow them to keep them alive. So let's go ahead and take a look at another example using the Queen Charge Zap Miners. Now this example right here is, again, a very similar thing. You'll see the use of 7 lightning spells. However, there is no rage spells. So you saw another variation where you were using a rage. This one, you're not doing that. Now the biggest thing in terms of identifying this, in terms of this, is notice how the base for the most part is mostly walkable. We can create a really solid funnel by using the queen on one side to take care of, basically taking care of this side here. That's exactly what we're doing, and we're going to charge in for the multi-inferno later on in the attack as we're sending in our miners. So what we're going to be using to protect our queen is going to be this freeze spell. That's all we're using. Now, I didn't mention in the previous one, but if you're going up against a lot of single Infernos and you want to use a charge, freeze is your best option, even if you do not have a rage spell. If you do, you may want to use that in combination with the freeze spell, but it's not entirely mandatory. But if you're seeing a lot of singles, I would suggest bringing a freeze spell. But the biggest thing right here is understanding when to use those lightning spells and where. And like you see right here, we're zapping away the clan castle and the Eagle Artillery in order to take them both down. But we also took down the Expo and the Bomb Tower, which provided us with a ton of value, which is something that you guys should be looking for. Now, on one hand, what we're also doing is using a bowler bounce in order to kind of carve this area out, so we can use our Queen Walk and kind of allow her to create this part of the funnel here. What we can do after this is start the funnel on the opposite side using either the King or the Siege Barrack, or you can use both like you see right here. Now, this is definitely, if you guys don't have access to the Siege Barrack, which I know some of you guys don't, then this might be a better option in terms of doing this. You can use either the Slammer, or you can use a Blimp with a Yeti Bomb, which would probably be even more effective with this strategy, so you can get down a multi or a single, and you're able to kind of get through a large portion of the base. Now, as you're using this though, you want to make sure that you are saving your Warren ability. You don't want to use it too early, but you want to make sure that you're using it when they're going into a high area of DPS like you see here. There's a lot of multi-infernos, there's a lot of point defenses like all these cannons, so it's totally worth using the Warren ability there. Now, as we're doing that, you may notice that some of those miners are not going for the multi-inferno. So that's why we're allowing our queen to charge right in for that multi-inferno to take it down. That's exactly what you kind of need to think about when you guys are using this, especially if you're going to make your walk into a charge. Other than that, though, there is another very simple variation of using the Zap Miners. Now, we're going to show you guys another example using this, but instead it's going to be a hybrid. And these two strategies are very, very similar in terms of, you know, how you guys should be using it. So definitely, let's show you guys that example, and let's show you guys a different way of using the miners, but this time it's going to be hybrid instead. Now, as I mentioned, we are going to be taking a look at a Zap hybrid, and we're looking at it right here. This one's going to be using a queen charge, which is something a little bit different and something that I don't really typically use, but it's definitely a really nice variation, especially if you can get a ton of value that's around the clan castle, like a multi-inferno, for instance. But definitely you're going to be bringing a rage spell for your queen charge for the most part. So like you see right here, you got the spell composition consisting of 6 lightning spells and a quake. We are zapping away the clan castle and the multi-inferno. The main reason here is we have a queen charge that's going to go into this part of the base here, and it's going to work ourselves in getting rid of all these buildings, including the other multi-inferno. So what this is allowing us now to do is send our hybrid in like this into the base. So that's what we should be trying to do for the most part. So remember that we are trying to create lanes, so we actually want to try and create this part first for the queen charge, and then the next side, which would be over on here on the outside with the siege barrack. So we got our queen, we got a queen charge here, and we got the siege barrack on the other side. What that leaves us here with is the hybrid to go right in. I usually like to use the Sui hero version of this, but definitely the queen charge variation is also a really good one too, and that's exactly what I wanted to show. So right here you'll see the use of the lightning spells on top of the Inferno and also the clan castle. That way we take it down. We only need 5 on top of the Inferno, just to keep in mind, but we do need 6 to take down the clan castle, which is the main reason why we're bringing 6 in. So what you'll see from here is that we're using the king on one side, baby dragon on the other to clear this area. That way it forces our queen to walk right into the base. We're using 2 super wall breakers in order to allow ourselves to clear out some of these defensive buildings, take out the enemy king, and get some sort of pathing for the hybrid. That's exactly why we're using that one rage. We're using that to keep the queen alive through the enemy king. That way it provides us with a lot more than anything else. So as we're kind of going through, notice the path that we have already created. We have created kind of this sort of pathing the queen charge and the lightning spells, and then on this side we're using the siege barrack, and we had the king kind of go all the way up until here. So that's exactly what we're doing on that side. So now we can send our hybrid straight in here, like I mentioned. And you'll see right once we have a solid funnel, we can start to send in the miners, the Grand Warden right behind, and then the Hog Riders to ensure that the miners are going in first, and then the Hog Riders are going in right alongside those miners as well as they're driving through. Now, as we're going through, we do want to pop the Warren ability, keep everything alive. Notice the use of the heal spells, keeping them all alive over the splash damage defenses, including the Eager Artillery. Now, one thing before we kind of continue here is that this does work against ring bases or bases with the Town Hall centralized, but it also works on bases to where the Eager Artillery is a little bit more offset. And what I mean by this for the most part is that if you're going in with the hybrid, you should look to get the eagle as soon as possible. And on the base design like you saw, it's actually a very good thing to charge towards that Eager Artillery. It may not be the first thing, but if you can use your Warren ability to protect everything and then get the Eager Artillery, then it's going to easily allow you to cruise through the base, like you see here, allowing ourselves to keep our hogs healed up. So something to keep in mind is to use one heal, use the Warren ability, and then use the second heal. And that is going to net you the most value because you won't have to use that heal spell until a little bit later on in the attack. I did make that mistake once, and definitely I won't be doing that ever again. But you guys can still see it's a very easy base, very, very strong, or a very strong attack strategy, that I should say. Other than that, though, this is another variation of the miners that you can do. This time, though, it's going to be using the hybrid instead of the miners, but they're very interchangeable, so it really doesn't matter what you bring, whether it be miners or hybrid. Definitely, hopefully this video kind of gives you guys an idea of both of them, and if you guys want to see a full breakdown of the Zap Queen Charge miners or the Zap hybrid, then let me know in the comments below. I would definitely appreciate it, and it would let me know that you guys are enjoying the video. So that, guys, is going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, remember to leave a like on the video. Remember to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. Also, feel free to go ahead and join my community Discord server. The link to it is in the description below if you guys are interested in joining. Also, feel free to follow me on the social, on Twitter and Instagram. Those links are also in the description, and feel free to go ahead and follow me on Twitch. That is going to be where I'm going to be doing a bunch of streaming, and that is definitely where you should be seeing some high quality Town Hall 13 action, so I would suggest giving me a follow or even subscribing to me over there. And feel free to go ahead and join any of the clans I cover within the game of Clash of Clans. The links to their Discords are in the description. Make sure that you're following their instructions and all of that. Other than that, though, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.